I guess you've heard of the expression hiding in plain sight. Well, I'm going to show you a classic example of that. See this building up ahead here? Well, there's a restaurant behind that smoked glass or that tinted glass. And I've been riding past it for the better part of a year. And it was only, well, on the 14th of January, after riding past here perhaps 100 times, that I suddenly noticed this was a cafe or a restaurant. And the only reason I noticed is because someone walked in the door and it drew my eye to it. And I was like, hang on, that's a place I could possibly go to. And look, it's got a really nice view, but there's quite a few features that I really don't like about it much. Anyway, the place is called Ebb and Flow Seafood and Steakhouse. And look, I think it possibly caters more to people that are staying in that block of that hotel or whatever it is. And I've looked at plenty of cafes around the region, and the ones I prefer tend to do what I call reasonably fancy food, like well presented, fancy stuff. And the menu that I looked at there really didn't seem to do that. I mean, it might be perfectly good, perfectly serviceable, might do good coffee, but didn't really grab me. And the other thing is surveillance of the bike. You can see sitting here, there's my bike down below. I can sit there and keep an eye on it. And if some peanut comes along and tries to steal it, well, I'm going to eyeball them. And this is all related to CPTED, crime prevention through environmental design. And, there's a very simple philosophy. Well, there's five, what do you call it, themes behind it. One of them, surveillance. That if you can, keep an eye on things, crooks aren't going to go and steal your stuff. So, if I look at a bunch of, I'll show you some photos of a bunch of cafes around Perth, one thing you'll see is the bike racks are all positioned where they are very easy to keep an eye on. And you can sit outside a couple of feet away from your bike if you want to and eyeball it, which is great. So, that's a really important factor. You've got to have surveillance. Now, of course, this place, there's no bike rack anywhere near it. And even if there was, you'd be sitting inside behind tinted glass. There's no outdoor seating, which I guess is why I've never noticed it, because one of the things I look for is outdoor seating. Now, just up the road at Starfish, there is a bike rack, and there's usually at least one bike in it. But there's no way in hell I'm going to park my bike up there and walk back. So sorry, Ebb and Flow, it's probably never going to test you out. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting when I was looking at the factors of what I look for in a cafe. Well presented fancy food is one of them. And even if I don't order it, I like a place to at least do it because it gives it's like a quality statement. And the other thing is, well, obviously you want to have a bike rack and you want it to be secure and convenient and you want it to be easy to see. Another thing, because I'm out in the open air all the time, regardless of the season, I like being in the open air. I like to sit outside, even if it's on a veranda or a balcony or something, or under cover. I want to be in the fresh air and I want to have sunlight. So, that counts against this place as well. But one day you never know. I might be in town, not riding, and don't need to park the bike, and I might just pop in and give it a go. We shall see. But if you're ever wondering why some places get reviewed and others don't, well, there's some reasons for you.